Hello and welcome to The Great Escape. I'm awfully sorry, but today I'm in a bit of a rush. You see, I've just got the opportunity of a lifetime. A chance to sing and dance around trees in a Hindi film. Now, if I have to get into town in time for this audition, I should probably catch a train. So, wish me luck. I'm off. All the trains are packed. I mean, what's the point of having trains if you can't board them? But apparently there is one exception. And it's supposed to be a train quite like any other in India. Amir Bashir was fortunate enough to board the Royal Orient in Gujarat. And when I say fortunate, I mean fortunate, because that train costs a fortune to ride on. Taxi!
Your coffee, sir.
Welcome aboard the Royal Orient. Supposedly one of the most luxurious and not to mention one of the most expensive train journeys in the world. A 7-day trip on this royal carriage would set you back by more than $2,000, which in Indian rupees is unaffordable. So, if you've got lots of the green stuff, welcome again.
In a week, the Royal Orient covers several hundred kilometers. It starts in Delhi, travels via Udaipur to Saurashtra and the west coast of Gujarat, and comes back to Delhi via Rajasthan. But here, the journey isn't important. It's the experience, assuming, of course, you can afford it. At first glance, you wonder what the fuss is all about. Isn't this a meter gauge train like any other meter gauge train? Well, apparently not. Heavy wood panels, paintings, inlaid work and lighting create mood and ambiance. The designers have spared no effort to create more than a hint of royalty. Personally, I find the interior a little gaudy, but then you may not share my taste. One thing is clear, there's never a dull moment on the train. If you're used to being a budget traveler like I am, all this attention may leave you a little disconcerted. I'm not complaining though. This is Junagadh, and this is where the erstwhile Nawabs of Junagadh are buried.
During partition, the 9th Nawab of Junagadh had opted to take his tiny state into Pakistan. Most of his subjects, however, were Hindus, who strongly protested against the move. Finally, the Nawab of Junagadh was advised by his ministers to leave for Pakistan alone.
During the day, everyone does their own thing, except of course when they are sightseeing. In the evening, everyone congregates at the water hole, where spirits rise.
As for me, I'm going to have a large, cool dinnerang. Don't look at me like that, Mother. It's only orange juice.
On the evening of day 4, we reached Miravalle, a medieval port once used by Hajj pilgrims. Over time, it's been transformed into a fishing town. Miravalle is a short distance from the enduringly famous Somnath temple. For Hindus, Somnath is an important pilgrimage site, housing as it does one of the 12 sacred Shiva shrines. The temple is supposed to have first been built in gold by the moon god, only to be rebuilt in silver, then in wood, and finally rebuilt in stone. It dominates Viraval's shoreline and can be seen from far out at sea.
A description of the temple by Al-Biruni, an Arab traveller, was so glowing that it prompted a visit in the year 1024 by a most unwelcome tourist, Mahmud of Ghazni, who descended on Somnath from his Afghan kingdom and after a 2-day battle took the town and the temple. What's cooking, chef? मैं देखना चाहता हूँ स्टाफ जो खाना खाता है और जो गेस्ट खाना खाता है उसमें डिफरेंस क्या है. That's one of the perks of my job. I get everything. This is my kind of stuff. It's hot, it's rich, and it's spicy. कैसा लगता है हिलते हुए खाना बनाना? दूसरी जगह है उससे थोड़ा अलग एक्सपीरियंस. Home to say. For dinner, sir.
Meals on board are elaborate, and you have a choice of Indian and continental food. Wines are available to wash down your dinner, though the choice is limited to a couple of brands. But that doesn't matter, considering this dinner beats anything I've had on any other train. Besides, it's the only time you can chat up other people on board. This week there are only 15 travelers, so it's quite cozy. Next stop, the Wild West or Sasangir, if you please. It took us 2 hours from Miravalle to get here, and I'm told that we left early to get to the sanctuary on time. Gir is the last refuge of the Asiatic lion. We were hardly in the sanctuary for half an hour when we chanced upon a lioness. The jeep halted a few meters from where she was sitting. She seemed unaffected by our presence and looked surprisingly tame. We saw another lioness close by. I'm told she's a cub. I must admit that I was disappointed, and I didn't feel any of the awe the king of the jungle is said to excite.
Don't try this on a moving train, if you know what I mean.
Overnight from Gir is Palitana, and getting to it is pretty exacting.
There are about 4,500 steps to the temples on the top of the hill. They say it takes about 3 hours. I should be able to do it in 1.
I hate how I'm doing this, but I am told that only those motivated by religious fervor are the ones who can endure this climb. For sightseers, this is the easy way out. Each of these chair slings, handled by 4 people, costs about 700 rupees for a round trip. Luckily for us, our train ticket ensures that we get a free ride up as well. After a 2.5-hour climb, you have to walk around for another couple of hours at least to see all the temples in this complex. There are 860 Jain temples built over 900 years here. The temples are breathtaking, and I marveled at how they managed to get everything they needed up here. I think it's time to call it a day. I still have a few more nights on the train. It's a pity you can't stay with me till my journey ends. Good night.